Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Sincerely Agile with Mary. As always, I am your host, Mary Lanion. And as you know, this is a platform where we want to learn, unlearn, and relearn, make change agents of ourselves, and above all, it's a platform where we want to be awesome and wholesome together. Today, we're looking at embracing a product mindset. And who better to have this conversation with me than Funto Akinbisehin, a product manager extraordinaire and the founder of Product Manager Africa. And I'm just going to bring her on. Hello, Funke.
Hello.
Funto. Hello, Funto. How are you? Sorry about that. You are muted. You are muted.
Oh, there you go. I muted
There you
and muted
there you
myself.
go, Funto. Nice to have you here.
Thank you.
Product manager extraordinaire. Product manager extraordinaire. It's such a pleasure to have you on Sincerely Agile with Mary. How are you
Thank-
doing today?
I'm very well, thank you. And you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Nice and sunny. It's been a great weekend, to be honest, and I've had a fun weekend. What did you do over this weekend?
I actually spent time with family. So I was at my brother's and sister, and we just hung out.
Okay.
That was yesterday, but today I think I just needed some rest, so I actually slept in for a long time today.
Good, good. We need to balance it all, isn't it? I was out on Friday, I was out on Saturday. Yesterday was particularly interesting because it was the Methodist girls, old girls, I think old school association, and they were raising money for like, a new building in the school. And I think that was just simply awesome. And it was interesting to see old, girls and boys in their school uniforms. It was that serious. So I had a
Did
fun
you wear
packed
yours
weekend.
as well? Did
No,
you
no,
wear?
no, no. I went there in jeans and t-shirt. But it was good to see old faces, people you haven't seen for 20 years, 30 years. It was good fun. Right, we have a few people joining us. So for Ronke is here as always. Hello, Ronke, nice to have you here. We have a LinkedIn user. I can't see your name, unfortunately. Another LinkedIn user here. Hello, Florence. How are you? So we have a few people joining us on LinkedIn, sometimes as well on Facebook and on YouTube. So, Funto, I'm just going to introduce you to our audience, read out your bio. So, just give me 1 minute to do that.
Okay.
Funto Akinbisehin is a product leader with over 18 years of work experience. She is committed to elevating product management development and tech in Africa. And she does this through a community she started for product managers. The community is dedicated to helping aspiring product managers through mentoring and facilitating internship roles with partners. They also work with aspiring PMs, preparing them for job opportunities. Now, Funto, that is all about work. When you're not working, what do you do?
Oh my goodness. Yes. So I try to relax.
Hmm.
And most of the time I spend time with family. It's really important to me. I
Yes.
cherish my family, and I'm blessed to have I have two brothers and a sister. So I
Okay.
spend a lot of time with them. I have a beautiful teenage daughter. I go out with friends. I have really nice friends. I'll say I work a lot. I do a lot of things outside of my work.
Like the community, for example.
The community takes a lot of my time.
Tell me
And
about
I'm
it.
also mentoring with, especially with communities, black communities. I do
Hmm.
mentor on those platforms. I also have mentors, people that are also mentoring me,
Hmm.
most especially people of color. And so I'm very active in those communities. Yeah.
And it's good that you do that because I know through your mentorship, that a few people, well, no, not a few, a lot of people have come to know about product management. They have come to pursue a career in product management. And I have also, of course, shared this in my community to say, look, you might be thinking of product management. So come and listen to Funto. So, Funto, how did it start? How did
Hmm.
your product manager journey start? It will be interesting to know how you started.
Yeah, quite interestingly, I would say. So I worked with MTN. That's actually the longest I've ever worked in an organization. So I was there for 7 years. And while I was there, I developed an interest in product. Even though I was not in the product department, I just found my way to start. I started working with them, just
Mhm,
seconding myself to the team.
mhm,
At that time, I kind of did the data center enterprise apps. We just had those big chunky products, and
mhm,
we would write 40-page business cases. It was
mhm,
just really huge. And then I had the opportunity to move to the UK again. I came to the UK. I was here for about 2 years with my family. I trained as a business analyst and then also joined some agile communities. I trained with some people. I got a job. And then it was time to move back to Nigeria. I moved back. And when I moved back to Nigeria, I started to work with Konga. Konga is an online shopping mall,
mhm.
something similar to Amazon, Jumia, but Konga in Africa. Um, I got into Konga as a program manager, and my job, I was tasked with building the seller platform. That was
Right.
scary. It was like being thrown into the deep end.
Mhm.
And in building the seller platform, I led the product team. We built the first indigenous marketplace seller platform ever in Africa. Indigenous, I mean it. We were ranked in the Fast Company for the most innovative companies because of this product. We were on top 10. It
Wow.
was a huge success and actually got promoted twice within 18 months. From program manager, I became head of marketplace and I became VP of product. And I'll say that I had really good managers. I had really good bosses, and
Right.
it will be bad for me not to even mention them here. Kunle Oguneye, he was really a good manager. I remember when I came in, he said, "Funto, are you sure you're ready for this job? If you're not ready, please resign and go." Immediately he said that, I said, "Wow, I have really big shoes to fill. I need to do this job." I have Gavin. Gavin Marshall was my boss. He was really good. I had Tokes, Fagbamigbe, and I had Sim Shagaya. Sim Shagaya was the founder of Konga. They believed in me. They they mentored me, and they gave me that launch pad into product management.
Hmm.
I made mistakes, lots of them,
Sure.
but I didn't give up. And that's a very important trait as a product manager. You must never give up. It's hard. It's one of the hardest jobs ever, but it's also very what word am I looking for? You know how you get satisfaction when
Fulfillment.
fulfillment, that's the word, when you're successful, when your products are being used by customers. You have to own up. You have to own that and you have to be responsible and
Mhm.
make sure that you own that product. So those were the things that helped me. And that was how I got into products. And I have never looked back. And I think it also helped me to want to help other people to also get into that space. So that was how I got into product management. Yeah.
Interesting story. And the word that just jumped at me as you were telling that story is the fact that you also had a mentor. Okay, you had quite a few people mentoring you, and they also were there for you when you needed them, right? You've talked about never giving up. And this is what we're paying forward right here, right now on this platform. This is what you're doing with your product management community to, create more awareness about product management as a track, as a professional track. Well done to you. Congratulations on your, outstanding journey so far. I mean, like I introduced you, I said product manager extraordinaire, not with an exclamation mark, because I know how good you are in
Hey,
this field. I know how good you are. So thank you very much for that starting story. Now, organizations are shifting from project to product. Let me just quickly see. I think we have some comments here. Okay, my mom is watching from Arizona. Hello, mommy. Nice to have you here. My sister is watching from Nigeria. Agatha is also watching. Nice to have you all here. Now, organizations are moving from project to product. Now, before agile, before product, and all this digital stuff, I'm sure you remember Prince 2, as a project management skill. We There was a lot of project management professionals out there, and it was something a lot of us did. I mean, I am also Prince 2 certified. I actually came into the agile space at the point where I was supposed to renew my Prince 2 certification. Then I started seeing agile project management, and I started to dig into that. So Why are organizations making the shift from project to product? That's not to say project is no longer necessary, because context matters here, but in the digital space especially, why is this happening?
It's interesting that you say that
Hmm.
because I think over the years, traditional project management, um, it was relevant at that time. I mean,
Yeah.
just as you said, I also have Prince too. I
Hmm.
have it, but I don't even talk about it anymore. It's just
Exactly.
like I never did it before. And what happened was that I guess over the years it had brought a lot of problems, and one of it, which we know, is that it's very lengthy. It
Hmm.
takes a long time to
Hmm.
get to the point of where you want to actually say this is the final product. It's expensive. It focuses on subtasks. It focuses on just basically focusing on that thing that we're going to build at the end of the day. I mean, it's relevant if you're building a house because obviously you need to build and then see the end product, right? You can't
Hmm.
build and say, "Oh, come and look at it. Is it fine? Let's break it down and rebuild
Hmm.
again." It doesn't work that
Exactly.
way. So that is not relevant here. But the main purpose, principles of the framework of IT project management at that point were things around scope, budget, resources,
It was
time.
task oriented.
Yes, exactly. But right now, the product mindset is focusing on the bigger picture. What are the things that we want to be able to achieve that will give an outcome that people will want to use instead of just focusing on a single project? Because once you are building a product, you're also already thinking of how you're going to enhance it, how you're going to make people. So there's a book called Habit Forming Products. People are addicted. How can they make you an addict of a
Mm.
product? And so people started thinking about building products in such a way that it became more outcome based than output based. And as I said before, project management was basically focused on, as I said, budgeting, you know, you're focused on things around short term. It's a short term project.
And actually completion, for the most part, will, completing the project was the measure of success.
Yes, exactly. But
Yeah.
in product led, organizations are now focusing on delighting. They want to engage. They want to get business outcomes. They
Hmm.
don't want to bog themselves with the traditional project oriented success metrics, which, as you said, for example, is just seeing the end product. And so, in realizing these benefits, it's also encouraging organizations to measure their successes and the values that they're giving to customers. And that's why people that have embraced it are really successful. The
Hmm.
Especially the tech companies that we see around us,
Mm.
they're very successful now because they're using the product-led way of building our products. And it's also
Absolutely.
exciting. You're
Hmm.
able to see what you're doing.
Mm.
Everybody
And you're
can
able to see it quickly because we're talking about MVP.
exactly. So I think it's also at the end of the day, it's even cheaper
Hmm.
because imagine that you've spent 6 months building something and then you find out it's a waste of money. But by the
Exactly.
time you spend 2 weeks, a sprint you've built, you quickly correct it. Okay, let's do it this way. That way, it's cheaper in the long run as well. And
It
then more
is.
people are more innovative. It brings about innovation. People have jobs, a lot of more jobs now. It's not just project managers. You
Hmm.
have product designers, you have QA testers, you have product managers, you have delivery managers. So many roles have been made out of this product mindset, and it's just
Hmm.
making them experience richer. So that
Absolutely.
yeah, so
And you said something about addict of a product or something like that, making addicts out of products.
yeah.
And what the image that came to me was the iPhone. Okay, was the iPhone. I mean, for the benefit of those perhaps who don't have much understanding about product, we're talking about digital products here. Your iPhone is a digital product. Your Android phone is a digital product. And as we know, there's always one version of iPhone coming out. I think my daughter and I were having a conversation about this just yesterday, because they think I should also start using an iPhone. I use Android, but they think I should join them and start using an iPhone. So she was now telling me now it is iPhone 13. Okay, so this addiction to gadgets, this is what you're talking about. And as a product manager, it is the job of a product manager somewhere to keep you hooked on this product, right?
Exactly.
to keep you hooked on this product. And it can be a physical product like an iPhone, or it can even be a product like social media, like Facebook or,
I'm
or,
hooked.
or Instagram.
I'm hooked with on Instagram. I'm confessing my one of my weaknesses now. I'm hooked.
We're all using it one way or the other. I mean, at the end of the day, the most important thing is for you to remember that there's only 24 hours in a day, and for us to, use our time wisely, our social media playtime and our, time online judiciously for positivity and productivity. So, my next question here. So, we've talked about project to product, organizations moving away from project for so many reasons. You talked about innovation. If we are project focused, especially in a digital space, there's a high chance that we might be missing out on innovation because we're not leveraging that customer input. Because when we work with minimum viable products, when we release a prototype of our product, then our customers can tell us what they like or what they don't like or what is missing. They can tell us that. If we don't have that, then we might just be developing something that nobody wants to use, or something that will not give us a competitive advantage in the market. Very good. I think we have, okay, Tunde Tabi is here. Hello Tunde, how are you? Another question here for you. Can you please explain product management to us in very simple language so people can comprehend what it entails? Very, very simple language. You may have touched on it a little bit, but
Yeah.
let's get back to that.
So product management is a career, right? It's actually a career, and in a simple way, according to someone I really admire a lot, Melissa Perry, she will tell you that it is the domain of recognizing and investigating the unknowns and reducing the universe of unknowns. So we unknowns are things we don't know,
Yeah.
but we investigate it to make sure that we reduce the universe of unknowns. So unknowns are things that are causing us pain points. What are those things that, I mean, for example, if you look at even when the iPhone came about, it wasn't as if there were phones, right? But it was a touch phone. But if they hadn't come up with, if Steve Jobs had not thought about it, maybe it would not have been really a big deal to us. Because I mean, one of the things I also heard was that when the iPhone was launched, the Nokia people were laughing at them that "Hmm, who is going to use a touch screen?" But the unknowns are things that even we don't know that we don't know. But
Yes,
product management digs it out from you because we didn't know that we needed Instagram, right?
exactly.
But it became something that everybody uses now, same as Facebook, Gmail, even YouTube that
Hmm.
we're using now. So these are unknown things that we have to just keep digging into. And how do we do this? We do a lot of understanding customers' behavior. I think it's a big deal to kind of bring in psychology because you need to understand your user behavior. You need to understand why people act certain ways. I mean, people. There's a saying that says people don't know what they want. They really
Yeah,
don't.
they
You
don't.
don't know. So product management is recognizing these unknowns and reducing the unknowns. And as product managers, we then focus on identifying features, we focus on building out products and experiences so that these unknowns are reducing every day. Honestly speaking, I think that's the best description of product management I've ever seen in my entire life. People will tell you it's the intersection between tech, business, and user experience. Yes, it is. Another definition of product management. It is the art of building products that customers will love. That is another description. But the first one actually was the one that resonated with me, recognizing and investigating unknowns and reducing the universe of unknowns. So I
Wow.
hope, yeah, that's
And for us to achieve that, like you said, it's about engaging with the customers. So we can't just lock ourselves in and build what we think we like. It is
no,
about going out there and leveraging psychology. You mentioned psychology. You talked about customer behavior, user experience. And today, when we go online to shop, I mean, organizations are very fanatical about feedback now. So as soon as you complete a transaction, they are already asking you for feedback and asking where they can better serve you, how they can improve. all this information is feeding back into their backlog so that they can go back and say, and analyze all that content, all that feedback to see where there might still be pain points, which are some unknowns that has to now become known. Is that correct?
Exactly.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So leveraging psychology, it's all about how we buy, how we see stuff, how we where we spend our time. So as we are online shopping, I mean, if you take for example, if you go to Argos, maybe Argos or ASOS website, as soon as you open your social media account, if you were just looking at maybe a blender or you were looking at a pair of shoes on another social media, as soon as you open your account on another platform, the first thing you will see is that organization. It just goes to show you how they are following our digital footprints,
Yeah.
trying to take what's the word, capture our habits. Like you
Yeah.
said, what is this woman looking at? What is she buying? When does she even buy? Is she buying in the morning, in the afternoon, or in the evening? All this stuff, actually goes into creating new ideas for the organization. I like to carry our audience along. We've got we don't know what we don't know. Absolutely, Olumide, we don't know what we don't know, and
Yeah.
that can only we can only then find out by engaging with our customers, by saying what are their pain points, even from a scrum master or an agilist point of view, where we go into organizations to try and help them solve problems. We don't know what we don't know. They don't know what they don't know, and it can only come by having those conversations. Stella says, very good topic. Absolutely, it is. Thank you very much. Customer collaboration, absolutely, very, very important. Very important. Okay, let me see what other question I have here for you. Okay, how does one start a career in product management? Now, this is a very important topic, question for me to you. And like I said before, you are the founder of Product Management Africa. And of course, what we're doing on this platform is to try and encourage more people, more diversity, for me to be precise, into the tech, digital, and agile space. So please, in order to just encourage people who might be watching live right now or who might be watching the recording, how does one start a career in product management?
Mm. So I guess so I would say, I mean, I'll just say, I mean, things that you can do, because it's also born out of interest, right?
Okay.
And how can you be interested in it if you don't take certain steps? So I'm going to be talking about the first steps you need to take, right, to start your career if you wanted to. There are loads of product communities, a lot of them. I mean, like 10 product communities. I have PM Africa, there's Product Coalition, there's Product School, there's PMHQ. There are a lot of them. There's Women in Product, there's Black Product Managers, so many of them. Look for the community that you can. I mean, there's a link I'll share or with you where I put useful resources for product managers. So I've put all the communities that you can join there in there. Read blogs. It's important. There are many product people. There's Matty Kagan. He's a really good product leader in Silicon Valley. There's Melissa Perry. Then there's Teresa Torres. There are loads of them. They write blogs. Then one thing I always say: build a product.
Hmm.
Build a product. It doesn't have to be a. It doesn't have to be. You don't have to succeed at it. You can fail at it. Everybody fails at something, but you know what? It's your experience in building a product. So, for example, if you love, let's say you love fashion, for example, and maybe you have a lot of clothes that you don't know what to do with them. You want to resell them. You don't want to, but you want to create something for yourself where you don't want to have to leverage on maybe I don't know, I know there's some, I know we have, for example, in ASOS where I work, we have a marketplace for secondhand clothes. If there's vintage or vintage. If you want to create something and that's what you're interested in, you can think, okay, maybe I just want to create something for people within 5 miles around where I stay. And I also want other people that are within 5 miles of where I stay to also be able to put their things on that website, to on my app, for example. What can I do? How can I go about it? And it's because it's something you're interested in. That's how these things start, to be
So we
honest.
need passion. That's what you're saying.
That is it. People actually start from what they like, and they get people of like minds to come together and say, you know what, let's build a product. And you know what, it may fail, but if it fails, it's on your CV. And even when they're looking for product managers, they want to find they want we in the CV. If you say you've built a product before, it's actually something that people are interested in. They could look at it as, okay, this person is actually interested, even though he doesn't even have any other product experience, but he or she actually went ahead to build something. So I always encourage people to build a product, watch YouTube videos. There's so many resources online, free resources, a lot of them. Find a mentor. There are many people that are product people. So there's a community I'm in. It's called Black Valley community. It's for Black people, and it's actually I'm a mentor on that platform. I mentor product managers. There are other disciplines, designers, engineers. You can go in there if you qualify, you get a mentor. The mentor will take you through on how you can break into product management, and then you can also find internship opportunities. It could be paid, it could be free. You can even also look at the product within your organization. If you have a product team already,
Mm.
go in there and you don't have to mind your business. You can say, please, what are you people doing? I want to be a part of it. Let me do one thing for you. And that way it helps you to start to build that. That's because, trust me, if you don't have that experience, nobody will hire you. It's a
Hmm.
chicken and egg approach when it comes to product management.
Yeah.
Once you don't have it on your CV that you've done anything related to product, nobody will really want to give you a chance, except you're coming in as an intern, fresh. That's the
Right.
only, and that is really competitive as well.
Hmm.
So, but I guess I would say those are the ways that it'll be good to get into the space.
I mean, I like the fact that you've touched on free resources. And this is why I always say to people the internet is a university. From YouTube to Googling and from all the blogs online, there's just so much we can start with without even spending a dime, because already we all spend money to have internet access anyway, right? So it's just a matter of if this is something that interests you, that you allocate some of your time to start researching these resources online. I believe this is a question for you from Adewume. What really helps an organization to discover the customer's behavior in the aspect of unknowns, please? You know, you were talking about we don't know what we don't know. How do they, really put this into action to then know, I guess?
So it's always important in an organization to be very customer centric. And if you're customer centric, it means that you're close to your customers. You are part of their lives. You want to know what they're doing,
Mm-hmm.
how they're feeling, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And as product managers, you can't just do it by yourself. It's
No.
always advised that you do it alongside your customer experience team,
Mm-hmm.
or those that we call user researchers. They are very good because I told you about psychology as well, because it's really important to try to understand how your customers behave. How can you understand how they behave? You cannot just come and ask them, oh, do you like ASOS? Oh, do you like Amazon? They can say it will be a yes or a no, really.
Yes. You
That's
can't learn much from that.
yes. But you ask leading questions. Oh, so when the last time you shopped on Amazon, what was your experience like? Tell me about yours. Tell me the journey. And as the person is telling you the journey, you are highlighting the areas that he's telling. Sometimes he's angry at some point. Sometimes she's smiling, but he or she does not know that she's telling you. The person may tell you, "Oh, I couldn't. The payment gateway was horrible when I was trying to pay. The thing charged me and it didn't something like that." But really, really, the person would have said that's what the person is focusing on. But when he's telling you the story, he could have mentioned somewhere that, "Oh, in fact, I really had a good experience when I was able to see an assortment of I was looking for a battery charger for my phone, and I saw different makes. I was able to select the one I wanted, and then at the point of selecting, it also gave me the option to add another thing that I didn't even think about. He has told you that that's a good experience, which means that
Yes.
he or she has enjoyed that thing. We have
Yeah.
gotten that feedback. At the same time, he or she may tell you, but actually, I was looking for white, but I saw red, a lot of red. I don't know why we didn't have too many of that particular brand. You have discovered something from that. And
Exactly.
then that's one person you've spoken to. Imagine that you've spoken to 10 people. In a way, you can then identify a pattern because that experience, even though it's unique to that person, there's a way that 10 people eventually would say the same thing in different
In
ways.
different ways.
That is how you can then hone down on that thing that is that problem in the customer experience when trying to use your product. And
And
then
then going to investigate that further to say, how can you make that better?
exactly. So that's basically, and in doing it as well, you don't do it as a product manager, you do it with your user experience person, product designer, alongside your tech lead, your engineering lead, because engineers also are really smart people. And
Mm,
you want to also have them, both of you, the three of you, they're called the triad. The three of you are sitting together and you are looking at it together, weighing the options together, suggesting together, brainstorming together. And that way you're able to then build that experience, which you can then user test and continue to test until you build almost 100%, which is not what anybody has achieved, but we're almost there.
exactly. It's a never-ending journey. We keep, I mean, look at where iPhone is coming from. You know, they keep changing things, they keep evolving based, like you said, on that customer feedback. So organizations need to be really, really customer centric, which is why they are moving away from project to product so that they can be closer to the customer in terms of collaboration and feedback. And also, you mentioned something about user groups. Organizations leverage a lot of focus groups as well, and there are a lot of techniques that they use to get that customer feedback. Things like buy a feature, a letter from the future, and things like that. There are a lot of techniques. There are a lot of techniques that are, administered in the process of engaging with user groups. Very, very important. And organizations need to invest time in those kind of activities because we need to remember we are not building these products for ourselves as an organization. We are building it for the consumers who ultimately will pay for it.
Yeah.
Right. More questions for you. Trying to look for another question to pick. Okay, so how can we? hmm, Let me show this one actually. Are there any specific qualities needed to start this journey? I think you've mentioned one, passion.
Yes.
Um, to start this journey, or that might boost one's traction if we have already started on this journey.
Yes. I would always say it, you've said it again, you have to be passionate. You have to have passion for good user experience. You always have to have passion for a product mindset when experiencing a product. Be
Mhm,
ready to do a deep dive all the time. E.g., look at your favorite product. Why is it your favorite product? Do a
mhm,
deep dive. Sit down and write it down. Why do I like this product? Is it
mhm,
because it's this? What does it check? That will help you to understand that product even better.
mhm,
And then what is your least favorite product? Why don't you like that product? Do a deep dive as well. Check all the boxes, dot all the T's. Cross all the T's, dot all the I's. So, for example, why do I like this Instagram? It's simple, it's easy to use, it's innovative, it's captivating, right? And I like the way it's just structured, and then I can do a deep dive and say, okay, so if I look at it, what are the things that could be better on
mhm,
Instagram? I start looking at it again from that angle. Okay, what if, for example, if I wanted to buy a dress, I could actually just do like a hologram kind of thing, try the dress because I shop on Instagram, for example, and just go in there and try it on. Does it fit me? Or can I actually talk virtually to another person? Can I have a virtual assistant helping me to choose? Those are improvements. And
yeah.
you're thinking ahead, you're thinking into the future. That's being passionate about product.
Very, very passionate.
Yes, you have to have grit. Grit is very, very important. I remember when I got a product job, the guy said, I hired you because of your grit. Not even grit alone on your job, as a person, what can you bear? Because as a product manager, you're going to be facing C level executives, you're
Yep.
going to be facing stakeholders and customers, and you must be able to tell them no. You must be able to tell them no, but you also have to explain why you're saying no. It is a very tough job, right? But it's very gratifying, but it's a tough job. You have to be data driven. You have to love data. You have to, no, no, not all of us are Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs was very intuitive.
Mm-hmm.
80%, oh, I believe that if I do iPhone, it will be successful. The remaining 20% was data. But me, I'm not Steve Jobs, I'm Funto Akinbisehin. So I'm 80% data driven and the remaining 20%, because even as a product manager, you also have to kind of use your intuition to kind of
Yes.
have a feel, a gut feel of how people may react to your feature
Product.
product. Yeah. You have to be an avid reader or a listener. You have to read and read and read books, subscribe to blogs, listen to podcasts. You have to read a lot of books and you have to self develop. It is very important. You have to spend money developing yourself. It is never enough for you to just say, I'm a product manager. You need to look for product schools. You need to spend. I remember there's this Matty Kagan I had spoken about. He runs courses and then the range of $2,500. And I didn't have $2,500. And I reached out to him. I said, Matty, I want to come for your course. I don't have the money. I will pay my flight ticket, I will come, but I cannot afford to pay. And he said, Oh, Funto, I'm sorry. I don't have space because it's fully booked. And then about a week before the course, he said, Guess what? Somebody just dropped out. I'm giving you that space. Immediately, I got my ticket and I flew to Dubai. He did this in Dubai for a 3-day course. And I felt, in fact, people were like, Oh, wow, oh, wow. He gave me I got a book. He actually autographed it. And from then, I was able to get his email. I email him. I'm telling him my journey. He's interested in me as a person. Sometimes I see him checking my LinkedIn profile, like, oh, Matt is checking my LinkedIn profile. I want him to see me succeed. Those are the kind of things you need to do as product manager. There's so many courses. There's
Mm-hmm.
Terrace Torres. Just know that you have to invest in yourself. It's very important.
Absolutely.
So those are
Absolutely.
the things I would say really
Mhm.
are top of mind for me. Um,
Fantastic. Passion, self directed learning. I mean, I have said this a zillion times. We've talked about the free resources online, but we also have to invest in ourselves. I mean, all these courses are not cheap. Some courses are even £5,000, 6,000, 7,000. It depends on how far you want to go in this career. Okay. And let us also remember that by the time you start paying £5,000, £6,000, £7,000 for a program, okay, maybe at the leadership level, the quality of the network of people that you will start meeting will be on another level. Because for anybody to dip their hands in their pocket and pay 6K, 7K in pounds, not even dollars, for a course, then it means they are all serious. They all know what they are looking for. They have a reason for being in that program. So let us put our money where our mouth is. Let us invest in ourselves. We always talk about free resources, but we must also remind you that investing in yourself is an investment, it's not a cost, and you will reap the benefit. It's about prioritizing what matters to you. And we often say in Funto that your network is your net worth. And I tell you, you will build your career to a point where you don't even attend interviews anymore. Okay, take this from me. You don't attend interviews anymore. They just call you and ask you if you are available because you have built your knowledge to that level. You have built your network to that level. And they are calling you because they know you can deliver. Please, I hope I'm communicating here this evening. We have some comments. Um, okay. We've answered Adetunji's question. Adewumi, I mean, Adewumi's question. Okay, is it collaboration or advertising? I don't quite get that, Adewumi. Do you want to, type that again? I'm not sure what you're asking there. Women in management, I love this. Kudos. Failure is part of the experience we talk about today. Fail to see your gaps. Absolutely. When we fail, it is feedback. We learn. And what is important, Stella, is what we take out of it, the learning that we take out of it. And we're talking about agile spaces these days. people are becoming more aware of the fact that they need to create space and brave spaces so that people can experiment. Based on what Funto has been talking about, we need to experiment. Okay, we need to keep innovating to find out because we don't know what we don't know. Even customers don't know what they want. So as an organization, if you're not creating a space where people can experiment and fail forward and fast, then you might be doing yourself, as a matter of fact, you will be doing yourself a disservice as an organization. I'm bringing myself here, and now I want to learn more from you. Absolutely, we'll carry you along. Link up with Funto, link up with myself. Does a lot of research. Absolutely, we need to do a lot of research. Continuous learning, Ronke. You know, I say that all the time. It's never ending. Investing in oneself, being curious, and continue to learn. Absolutely, we cannot stop learning. The day we stop learning, we start dying. Continuous learning, and as you said, self-directed learning. Absolutely, reading blogs, buying books, and reading those books. Joining communities, making your own contribution. Awesome. That's huge. Absolutely. Thanks. They know what they don't want. They know what they don't want, but they don't know what they want. That is very true. I think that is what Azizat is trying to say.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay. Thank you very much to our audience for those comments and questions right there. Now, what other question can I pick out from here for you? Right. Let's talk about. I actually think you've touched on this baby step. You have somewhat talked about this. You talked about YouTube channel, the things they can do initially. Is there anything you can add to that before I go to my next question? What else can they do in terms of baby steps?
Yeah, I mean, I've said it all, to be honest.
Yes, yes.
Read up on product management, join communities, look for internships, build a product.
Mm-hmm,
And then I said I had a post, a link that I put on Medium. It's called
mm-hmm.
Useful Links to Resources for
Okay,
Product Managers. I can share the link. People can go in there and just dig further if they want. But yeah,
okay,
yeah.
cool. Olumide, you're saying first I think about keeping my job when interacting with C-level management teams. I really would like you to elaborate on that, Olumide, if you can, please, so that Funto can comment on that. Now, your community. You are so passionate about product management. You are so committed to bringing more people into the product management space that you have created a community called Product Manager Africa. Now, I've mentioned some of your motivations around this. What else? And tell us more about Product Manager Africa, please.
Okay. Product Manager Africa. It's a community of tech people. Mostly, I'm mostly about people of African descent. I
Mm-hmm,
mean, there's all over the world, but we have a lot of people in the PM community.
mm-hmm,
And one of the things that motivated me, I'll be honest, was because I wanted to make the path easier for aspiring product managers. I wanted to give them a platform to enable them to have access to leaders and to mentors because I struggled. I didn't have those opportunities.
yeah.
I had to learn, I had to make mistakes.
Mm-hmm,
But I want people to make fewer mistakes and I wanted to make it a rocket speed experience for them. Honestly, that's just in a nutshell
fantastic.
the reason behind PM Africa.
Fantastic. I like how you've responded to that. And not only do I like it, I'm proud of you. I mean, I met you in Nigeria. I met you because I came to your organization to train the development team, right? And that was how I met you. And I'm so proud of how far you have, come. I am proud of what you're doing for the product management community. I love that mindset. That mindset of, you know what? It took me 10 years. It doesn't have to take somebody else 10 years. It was difficult for me. It doesn't have to be difficult for somebody else, right? I didn't have a mentor. Let me be a mentor for somebody else. Do you see where I'm coming from? And this is what we are doing on this platform. This is what I'm also doing. Because like there's a Yoruba proverb that says that the skies they are big enough for the birds to fly, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't diminish us to bring people into our spaces at all. If anything, it is gratifying, it is fulfilling, and we want more diversity in this space. It's not competition. No, there's no competition at all. It is collaboration. And we need to get into that space where we're looking out for each other in these professional spaces. If there's a vacancy in your organization, tell somebody you know. If you're a product manager, tell your circle of friends, have you heard of product management, have you heard of scrum master role, have you heard of business analysis, so that we can have more diversity in these spaces. So Funto, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. I think Olumide has responded. Olumide said he was, whatever it was he said earlier on, it
Ah,
was in response to saying no to leadership. And as a product manager, I know where that is coming from, but I'll let you answer that and then I can chip in.
okay. So I know you don't want to lose your job, but trust me, when you say no, they will respect you even more because you're not saying no in a rude way. You're saying no because you're convinced that that is not the direction in which you should go. So, I mean, that happens a lot of time. It has happened to me as well, where I've had my manager, my boss say, "Oh, Funto, I think you should build this particular feature because it's the way to go." And I know that it's not a good idea. But I will not just say, "Oh, no, it's not a good idea." No, that's not what I'm going to do. I will go back and get feedback from users. I would have quickly built a prototype, for example, and try to find out from them if it's something that would add value or diminish the experience. And then I can now come back and say, boss, I know you said no. I mean, I know this is what you want, and this is why I'm saying no because it will reduce the number of our good user experience. It will eat into our profit, blah blah blah. It will reduce our net promoter score. You're talking like from a place of knowledge. You're not just saying no because your passion is just no, and
Mm,
that's it. No, your no is from an informed position. That's what I mean. So yeah, so let's you're not just
mm-hmm.
going to say no every
Exactly. Very well said there, Funto. Very well said. Because as a product manager, you are the product leader. You are the product leader, and you have to support your answer with data. You need that data to support your answer. You are saying no because, and then you present that data to support your, why you are saying we really don't need this feature, or this is not the direction we should be going. As the product manager, you are the product leader. So you are the one leading in terms of that product direction. So you know when it should be a go or when it should be a no go. That is so, so, so important. And like Funta said, they will even respect you more for that. You can't be a yes man as a product manager. You cannot be a yes man at all. Okay, and then Florence, very informative session, ladies. Thank you, Florence. Can Funto share the link to the Black Valley community? Funto, if you let me know what that link is, I'll share it with them.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, we've talked about baby steps. We've talked about that. Okay. If you could recommend one book on product management, which book will you recommend? This is very important because we want people to go and start reading if they're
Uh,
interested in product
I have
management.
my books here that
Okay,
I've
let's
read,
have a look.
and it's not one. Sorry, I'm gonna have to show more than one.
That's okay. That's okay.
So there's this book
Okay.
called Black Box Thinking.
Black box thinking.
Yes, by Matthew Syed,
Okay.
and here he talks about he relates the black box of an airplane, right, to a hospital gadget. Interesting. Two
Right.
different spaces,
Yeah.
but it's awakening your creative thinking.
Mm-hmm.
This is a must read. It's a fantastic book.
Right. I think I'm going to read these books too because it works for me too as an enterprise agile coach. Yeah.
It's a fantastic book. I cannot recommend it enough.
Okay.
Then my dear friend, well, Marty Kagan, I've spoken about him a lot today. He wrote this book,
Okay.
Inspired: How to Build, How to Create Tech Products Customers Love. This is
Right.
one of the books that even when you're getting into product management, you can read it. It's a very easy book to read. It's like my
Okay.
product Bible.
Okay.
Initially, when I was also struggling, I'll go in there, read a tip, use it, apply it. But now I don't even have to read it like that anymore because I'm also
Mm.
becoming some sort of guru.
You,
in my
you you
own.
you know it like the back of your hand. It's not that you are becoming a guru. You are a guru. You are a product guru. And the third one?
Um, Escaping the Bill Trap by
Okay.
Melissa Perry. This is
Hmm.
also a very easy read. She talks about how how you have a product mindset as an organization,
Hmm.
different roles when building a product, why
Hmm.
why some companies fail
Hmm.
in the ways they're building their product. Just how
Right.
can you be an effective product manager and create real value? I'll
Mm.
say that's yeah. So
That
these
is
are
it. Creating
yes,
value.
yes,
Creating value, not just becoming a. And I like, I actually, I think I have that one, the build trap, because what that book is trying to say is that it's very easy to get into that feature building mindset where you're just output mindset, so to speak.
yes,
You're just, feature driven. You are
yes,
feature driven. So if
yes,
as a product manager you see that you are getting into that feature driven space where you are just outputting stuff, but
yes,
where are the outcomes? Okay, you have delivered something. Who is using it? Who is using it? Who is excited about this product that you have delivered? So these are very important questions we need to be asking ourselves. And we have some more comments. Um, Funto, can I have the what Florence was asking for
okay,
Black Valley community? If you send it to me as a text in the chat box here, the private chat, then I can highlight it.
okay.
Bookie, thanks for your delivery. Most of the time on this platform, we keep receiving, but we've learned that collaboration is the way forward. In product management, which skills are supportive that can contribute towards those in the product management space? I'm someone sold out to quality assurance and control. I'm trying to really figure out what your question is here. In product management, which skills are supportive that can contribute towards those in the product management space? Does that is that clear to you, Funta?
Thanks. Let me see. In product management, which skills are supportive that can contribute towards those in the product management? So, are you saying that as a QA person,
I think that's
what
what he
are
meant.
the things that you can do to help to support the product manager? Am I right? So that before I answer that,
Buki, can you clarify, please? Are you asking what you can do to support a product management or a product manager as a quality assurance and control person? Is that what you're saying? Can you rephrase that and can you make it short and clear, please? Thank you. So that Funto can answer before we disappear. We've got just 8 minutes left. What other questions do we have here? um, you will definitely earn their trust and yours as well when you have a stand. Absolutely, Adeome. Based on what Funto has just said, you can't be a yes man, and you have to be able to support, whatever it is you're saying with data, and that is why data is so important, and that is why we have to collect feedback. We need to get feedback as much as possible from our users. I think Buki is saying yes, that's what he means. So can you please answer, respond to that?
okay, thanks for clarifying. Okay, so the things that will really be helpful to support the product management space is ensuring that um, the engineers do user testing, right? Because a lot of time we don't want to have a buggy platform, right? We don't want people to build something that people will now start saying, oh, when I opened it, it had a 404 page, or it just says unable to resolve, or something like that. And as a QA person, I guess you should also have the back of your PM, because the PM, in as much as she tries or he tries to cover all the angles, it will also be good to be able to depend on that QA person, that at least the person has covered 80% of ensuring that most of the pages are up and running. Is really important. Automated testing, all the load tests, regression, all the tests that need to be done,
Mm-hmm.
they're honestly done, and not just say, oh, I've done it. Don't do it, share the results, stress tests all the different production and test environments, and also buy into the vision of the product manager. As a product manager, I have a vision for the product. It's not just my vision, it's our team vision, it's our team goal.
Organizational vision,
Yes. You have organizational vision, you now have a product vision.
product
As a product
vision.
manager, you
Yeah,
have a vision for your product.
yeah.
So the QA and every other member of the team must buy into the PM vision. We must all be passionate about it. We must wake up and say we want people to use our products every day. We want to form, we want them to have the best customer experience, right? That could be our vision, for example.
Yeah.
And what are the things I can do to support Funto to ensure that our customers have
Hmm.
the best experience? You load
Absolutely.
test every day. You ensure that we can get 10,000 concurrent users in a minute.
Hmm.
Things like that. So those are the kind of things that help to build trust between Funto, and it's not that tomorrow something will just break. And
Hmm.
also working collaboratively with the engineers. I know they work collaboratively with the engineers, proactively ensuring that they also
Yeah.
have low. I mean, I don't know what, I can't remember what they call those things, but things that can help us to tell when the site is about to go down, when the site
Hmm.
is up. Not that a
Hmm.
customer will be calling and say, "Oh, your site is down." That's the most
Hmm.
embarrassing thing that you can do.
Absolutely. And customers are very impatient today. They
Yeah.
are very, very impatient.
So
So
just put
if
your
you're
and start yapping you.
exactly, they are very, very impatient. And there's some more, I mean, there's another organization ready to just, take them off of you if you're not making them happy.
Yeah,
Because at the end of the day, it's no longer the seller's market, it's the buyer's market. It is,
exactly.
and we have the choice, and it's
Exactly.
just right at our fingertips.
Yeah.
And another thing, I think it was Femi Odelusi that was asking this question a while ago, that your company, your product is only one tweet away.
Yeah.
Your organization is only one tweet away from either, being, up there or down there. One tweet.
In fact,
So
I'll just quickly share a little story when I was in Conga. How
yeah,
um so I don't know what happened, but everybody that was ordering a particular an item, they just everybody that ordered on Conga website, they were just getting some eyebrow, I don't know, maybe eye pencil. So if you
right,
order a book, it was eye pencil you will see. If you order
right.
a bag, and I didn't know that there
Mhm.
was that problem. So, and somebody had put it on Twitter that Conga is a joke. Imagine everything
Wow.
we're ordering. I didn't see it. It was the CEO that saw it.
Wow.
He now summoned me to his office. I didn't get home that day till 12 midnight or 1 a.m. because we had
Wow.
to resolve that issue. But
Absolutely.
I was embarrassed.
Yeah.
In fact, the way he spoke to me that day, nobody had ever spoken to me like that before. But it's his business. He can talk to me because I was not responsible. I wasn't proactive. I didn't know that people, because somebody complained to me during the day, but I didn't check it. I should have checked.
Right. Right.
Until somebody tweeted it. He saw the tweet. He
Right.
said, Conga must be a joke.
Wow.
Imagine I'm ordering something, it's the same thing everybody's getting.
Wow. Wow. That just goes to show how we need to be really proactive and pay attention to these things, because like we just said, we are all just one tweet away about this, kind of information.
Yeah.
I hope that answers your question, Buki. So please link up with Funto on LinkedIn. She's doing a fantastic job in that space. And if you want to get more information about product management, PM Africa is the community she founded, pmafrica.co, not .com, .co. Thank you all so much for spending time with us. Funto, thank you so much for your time investment here and for all the knowledge and information that you have shared with us. Now, next week, we're going to have Monica Zampa, and we're going to be talking about downplaying potential. Now, this is a bit of a sensitive topic because I think the focus will mostly be on women, well, on everybody, but mostly on women. How, for the most part, sometimes our career suffers when we get married or when we start having children or when we're in a relationship. But the goal here is to see how we can better hold that space and not necessarily downplay our potential. So it promises to be an interesting conversation next week. Funto, once again, thank you so much for being my guest today on Sincerely Agile with Mary. To all our audience, as always, thank you for showing up. And please link up with Funto on LinkedIn, and please check her website and follow her, if this is something that interests you. And I wish you all the best if you want to start your product management journey. So thank you very much, everybody, and have the rest of your Sunday evening. Have a beautiful one. Thank you, and bye bye.